Continuing to keep a close eye on your forecast. Hot and toasty out there once again to begin for today with a heat advisory in effect. But rain chances are on the rise. I'll be breaking down all the forecast details that you need to know coming up.
Plus, it's another crucial day in Texas flood recovery efforts. Federal and state leaders gathering for hearings concerning the response.
President Trump inks 3 new trade deals, and the White House says more are in the works. I'm Rebecca Castor with more on who might not make a deal, though, before the August 1st deadline.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome into Fox 10 Midday on your Wednesday. We're halfway through the work week, and I'm Ashlyn Mitchell.
And I'm meteorologist Jennifer Lambers.
Jen, I feel like we're really running out of creative ways to say it's hot, but that's what it is, plain and simple.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Ashlyn. Plain and simple. The heat, the humidity, they are here to stay, but we will start to see some relief at times in the form of rain showers. Some of that even expected for today. But taking a live look at conditions across the southeast, we have those winds out of the north, so they're trying, keyword there is to bring in some of the drier air. It's not quite making that big of a difference out there. Our dew points went from mainly the upper 70s to the mid 70s, so it dropped it down just a little bit, but some offshore showers and thunderstorms taking place. Still mostly quiet out there for us at this time, just starting to see some of that cloud cover, some peaks of sunshine out there, but it is beginning to warm us up. We do have a hazy, hot look out there from our Navigator Credit Union camera at the Battleship. Those temperatures lower 90s. There's those northeasterly winds trying just a little bit, not being too successful. Dew points still in the mid to upper 70s, so the feels like temperatures 106 right now over downtown Mobile. Those temperatures all across our area, few upper 80s, just trying to hold on, mainly seeing some of those lower 90s out there. But the heat indices, those feels like temperatures soaring into the triple digits. It's easier to point out areas that aren't seeing that. Brewton, Crestview right now, the only two holding on to those feels like temperatures mainly in the mid 90s. Everywhere else feeling toasty out there. Stay hydrated, take breaks. Once again, we do have that heat advisory in effect. This means that those feels like temperatures getting closer towards 108 degrees or above. So the National Weather Service once again highlighting where that criteria will be met and why that heat advisory once again is in effect for today. Now, I did mention that we will have some rain chances out there, but still continuing to stay hot and toasty heading into the rest of this afternoon. Look at that. Really showing those heat indices getting well above 110, even into the 100 teens out there. So again, take breaks, stay hydrated, set those timers in case you are working outdoors. But there is some rain coverage that will make an appearance heading into this afternoon and this evening. I'll be highlighting the timing and the details on that. That'll be coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
Jen, thank you. Happening right now, the sentencing hearing for Bryan Kohberger is underway, and this is a live look in the courtroom now. He's the man who has admitted to killing 4 Idaho college students in November of 2022. Many hope he will explain why he committed the crime. The victims' grieving families are giving impact statements as we speak. Kohberger's guilty plea on July 2nd did spare him the death penalty. That's when he admitted guilt to burglary and first-degree murder. That plea bargain forfeits his right to appeal, but it did not demand he reveal his motive. Kohberger will be able to address the court before he is formally sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Thing that you could never be.
Well, meanwhile, 2 people are recovering after being rescued from a burning home in Fairhope. It happened just after 4 p.m. yesterday on Laraway Lane. We're told Fairhope volunteer firefighters, along with crews from Daphne, responded to a structure fire. While on the way, dispatchers alerted them that people were trapped inside. Firefighters were able to rescue a husband and wife. We're told both were taken to the hospital for treatment. Thankfully, the fire was brought under control shortly after the rescue. The state fire marshal is now investigating what caused it. And we have a crew in Fairhope right now following this story. We'll have an update later today. And new this hour, the White House is knocking out more trade deals, announcing 3 new agreements yesterday, including a massive deal with a major U.S. trading partner. But not every country is surrendering in the president's trade war. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the very latest now.
I just signed the largest trade deal in history. I think maybe the largest deal in history with Japan.
President Donald Trump celebrating a major win Tuesday, a $550 billion trade deal with Japan, which he says will create hundreds of thousands of American jobs.
We worked on it long and hard, and it's a great deal for everybody.
Japan's investment includes plans to buy 100 Boeing planes, more U.S. rice and other agricultural products, and increase defense spending with U.S. firms. The country will also pay a lower 15% reciprocal tariff on its exports. Good news for Japanese automakers and U.S. buyers.
I think Trump is good at bargaining. He has Japan in the palm of his hand and enjoying it.
The president also announced deals with Indonesia and the Philippines Tuesday, and his trade team is sitting down with the EU today as countries race to finalize deals before higher tariffs take effect August 1st.
We're about to announce a rash of trade deals in the coming days, and a lot of these trade deals are going to include substantial investments in the U.S.
But not every country is rushing to make a deal. Canada's prime minister says they're unlikely to get one done before the deadline.
They're complex negotiations, and we'll use all the time that's necessary.
If Canada does not reach a deal by the end of this month, President Trump plans to raise tariffs on Canadian imports to 35%. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Also new this hour, authorities in Los Angeles are following up on leads after an explosion killed 3 deputies last week. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department served a search warrant in Marina del Rey, and it served a similar warrant less than a mile away. The search for evidence follows Friday's deadly explosion at a Sheriff's Department training facility in East Los Angeles. And Texas officials are starting a formal investigation into the deadly July 4th flooding disaster. At least 135 people died. That includes more than 100 people who died in Kerr County, where children's camps and RV parks were situated along the Guadalupe River. During today's special hearing, officials will look into how response teams handled that emergency, and investigators will also focus on whether the flooding disaster could have been prevented. The hearing will include testimony from officials in charge of managing regional rivers, as well as from the head of the state's Division of Emergency Management. And next week, Texas lawmakers will hear directly from survivors in the hardest hit areas. Well, today in Istanbul, Ukraine and Russia talk a potential ceasefire after recent days of violence. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palkot has the latest from London.
Ukrainian and Russian officials coming face to face for a third round of peace talks in Istanbul. The focus of Wednesday's discussions was expected to be on humanitarian issues. This week, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky challenged Russia to speed up negotiations after Moscow intensified its strikes.
We continue to encourage direct talks between Russia and Ukraine in pursuit of a comprehensive ceasefire and eventual negotiated peace settlement.
Previous meetings have resulted in several mass prisoner exchanges, but made little progress to stop the fighting. President Trump has threatened Moscow with harsher sanctions if it fails to reach a deal by early September. But the Kremlin is downplaying the potential for an agreement.
No one expects an easy road. Naturally, this will be a very difficult conversation. The projects are diametrically opposite.
Meanwhile, Zelensky is fighting another battle after signing a controversial bill that limits anti-corruption efforts in his government. Thousands of people gathered across the country on Tuesday to protest the legislation. Critics say it's another effort to consolidate power and could give people in Zelensky's circle greater influence over investigations.
When the front is moving at a very high speed, we must do everything to ensure that our country is united, free, and independent.
Zelensky and his supporters say the bill is necessary to identify Russian influence in Ukraine's anti-corruption agencies. In London, Greg Palkot, Fox News.
In the meantime, another crisis is escalating in the Middle East. At least 10 people have died from starvation in the Gaza Strip in just the past 24 hours alone. That's according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. A top health official says the death toll from famine and malnutrition is rising at a concerning rate. In a post on social media, Dr. Munira Albersh said, quote, "These are not just numbers. They're cries for help, a human plea urging the world to act before it's too late." Now, this comes as more than 100 international aid organizations are now calling on Israel to end its blockade of Gaza. And locally now, we're just over a month away from the municipal elections in our area, and one of the most closely watched races is for Mobile mayor. All 4 candidates faced off last night at BC Rain High School, giving voters another opportunity to hear where they stand on key issues. In the running, Spiro Cherigatis, Barbara Drummond, Connie Hudson, and Paul Prine. Voters in attendance said they wanted to hear real plans from the candidates and how they'd tackle the city's biggest challenges.
I think it's important that as Americans, we hear what the people running for office have to say.
I would love to see this city actually grow a little bit more, like a big metropolitan city, you know, and have a strong leader.
Election day is set for August 26th, and the deadline to register to vote is August 11th. Well, meanwhile, a major shopping development is coming to southern Baldwin County. The Foley Planning Commission voting to recommend approval of a proposal to build a BJ's Wholesale Club. The 106,000 square foot facility would be located on the South Juniper extension. That's just east of South Mackenzie Street. This would be the second BJ's location in Alabama. The first one opened in Huntsville back in 2023, and the closest BJ Wholesale is located in Pensacola. When complete, the Foley location will include a fueling station and other facilities. Construction, we're told, is expected to start in September or October, and it should take 1 year to complete.
I'm Stephen Moody here in Mobile, where there's now a new park for kids to play. I'll have more on that story and what's featured in it coming up.
Thank you, Stephen. And also, it's a little hot and toasty out there, but we're taking a live view outside down on Dauphin Island. We are starting some sunshine, just a nice little breeze out there, some sunny skies. However, anticipating that rain coverage to be ramping up heading into the rest of today. Higher chances central to southern Mobile, Baldwin counties and the Florida Panhandle. I'll be breaking down all the details on the heat and the storms coming up when we come back.
Welcome back into Fox 10 Midday this morning. Just in time for the second half of the summer, the city of Mobile officially cut the ribbon on its newest playground at Figures Park. And not only is this new playground fun, but it's also inclusive. Fox 10 News reporter Stephen Moody is live this morning with all the details, and it looks like it's been a really fun morning out there, Stephen.
Yeah, Ashlyn, it has. Good morning. And it's also in the shade, as you can tell here behind me. Now, the new Figures Park playground has multiple play areas for children of all ages and abilities. Say hello to the brand new Figures Park playground. Some of the new features include climbing activities, splash nets, zip lines, towers, slides, and plenty more.
This community, the Thomasville community, is one of the largest communities in the city of Mobile. And so to have a playground where the kids can walk to and enjoy and exercise, that means a lot.
The new playground is a $600,000 investment funded by the City of Mobile's Capital Improvement Program. It also includes a double zip track with a zero-G chair for children who need additional support to join the fun.
So I hope the parents will take advantage of making the children come here and stay engaged, moving around and exercising, and I think it'll be a win-win for the parents and for the children.
And it already comes highly recommended.
We have played a lot, and we went on the zip line, and we did a lot of stuff. And we went on a swing. I had fun.
And the playground has already been recognized as part of Playcorps' National Demonstration Site program for its design. That is the third park of its kind here in the city of Mobile, and that promotes physical activity and nature-based play. We have more on our website right now at fox10tv.com, but for now, reporting live here in Mobile, Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Thank you, Stephen, and make sure that you stay cool out there, but taking a live view outside, making our way a little bit further south into Pensacola Beach. Look at that. It's just so calm out there. You really can't even see any of the motion with the Gulf waters. So a lot of folks getting out and enjoying it on this toasty Wednesday out there. Some sunshine right now, but anticipating some storm coverage later on today. Now, current conditions out there, hot and toasty in both Gulf Shores and Pensacola. We're resting in the lower 90s, some calm winds out there. Dew points muggy in the mid to upper 70s. But look at the difference that it makes. Both spots have the same air temperature. However, the difference is going to be 2 degrees in those dew points. So just 2 degrees higher, we get closer towards 77 for those dew points, and it's feeling 3 degrees warmer out there, feeling more like 105 instead of 102. But really, it's just feeling hot out there. Now, as you head further along into the rest of this afternoon, we will start to see those daytime highs just maxing out really in the mid 90s. These are a few degrees cooler than what we saw yesterday. We're mainly in the upper 90s, seeing more of those 97s, those 98s for our Tuesday. Now we're knocking down just a little bit, but it's still going to be feeling hot and toasty out there. We will continue also to stay just above average for what we should be seeing this time of year. Normally we should be in the lower 90s, instead seeing those mid 90s. Luckily nowhere near that record 100 degrees set back in 1924, but a heat advisory is still in effect for today. A reminder of how the heat advisory works. It varies. Every single National Weather Service is different with their differences with this and the criteria that has to be met. Now that heat index value for us here locally, it has to get closer towards 108. Oh, it's hot out there again today. So our National Weather Service office went ahead and reissued this for our Wednesday. Some counties included in it. Even if you're outside of it, you're still going to be feeling like the triple digits. Limit your time outside, take breaks out there. Here's what it's looking like with those heat index values later on into this afternoon. Feeling more like the 100 teens out there, 110, 111. Enjoy the AC. Enjoy staying inside. Close those windows, close the blinds. That way it puts a little less stress on your AC unit as well. The darker you can make it inside, the cooler help it be. And then just enjoy a fan to help cool yourself off. Now checking in on the tropics, we do have one area that we're monitoring right now. This is going to be an area of low pressure that's pushing off the Carolinas, heading closer towards the south side of Georgia. And then it's going to be moving into the Gulf waters. Think of last week, that tropical disturbance except put lower chances on it to develop. That's what we're going to be seeing once again. Increased rain chances, increased rough surf. Those will be our impacts to us regardless of development. It's not looking likely, but it's still going to be disrupting our forecast here locally. So timing things out in our future cast, we're already introducing some rain chances for today. It will be a little bit separate out there. But as we get further along into this afternoon, cloud cover ramping up closer towards 2 o'clock, then really introducing some of those showers and storms by 3 and 4 p.m. This is going to be that isolated look. Here it turns a little more scattered, but as mentioned before the break, highest rain coverage central to southern Mobile, Baldwin counties in the Florida Panhandle. So right along and on the south side of I-10, that's where we'll start to see some of that higher rain coverage heading later on into tonight. Heavier downpours, some thunder, some lightning, that'll all be possible. We turn a bit more isolated overnight, but the Rip Curl risk at our local beaches, low for today, then bumping up. Again, I mentioned that disturbance out there just off the coast of Georgia that's making its way into the Gulf waters. That's really where we're going to start to see some of those impacts, ramping up the Rip Curl risk by tomorrow, especially as we get closer towards Friday. Here's what I'm tracking here locally over the next 7 days. 50% chance of showers for today, bumping up heading into tomorrow and Friday. And then by Sunday, we resume our normal summertime pattern here across the Gulf Coast. But I'll break down more of your forecast details coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
Well, in this week's We the People segment, we're highlighting a local faith-based company that's taking people off the streets and putting them to work. Nonprofit Ransom Solutions, formerly known as Ransom Ministries, is a landing spot for old electronics and a new start for people coming out of prison, addiction, and homelessness. For more than 10 years, trainees have gone through the one-year program, getting paid, working their way through 4 phases, getting hired on to full-time positions with local partners.
A lot of times we give people what we think they need instead of asking them what they want. And so we start asking them what they want, and they just want to go to work.
It's gave me the building blocks to continue to rebuild my life. And right now, it's amazing. I became a homeowner 3 years ago. I bought my first rental property about 3 months ago. So God's been good, and I owe it all to this program.
What an incredible story there, but that's not all. Ransom Solutions also provides on-site counseling and therapy. Over the years, they've helped nearly 600 people rebuild their lives. Last year, they processed and recycled over 800 tons of electronic waste they kept out of landfills. This year, they're on target to process 1 million tons. And in today's This Day in History, we celebrate the farmer-owned and operated farmers market that opened on Finley Avenue in Birmingham, Alabama on July 23, 1956. Did you know it's the largest farmers market in the Southeast and continues to play a vital role in the local food system and connecting consumers with fresh, locally grown products? For staying with us on Fox 10 Midday today. In health news now this morning, a warning for people taking weight loss drugs. If you stop taking them, the weight could quickly pile back on. That's all according to a new study published just this week in BMC Medicine. Researchers reviewed nearly a dozen clinical trials investigating weight rebound after patients discontinued using anti-obesity medications. Overall, they found the pounds started creeping back on after 4 weeks, reaching significant levels by 8 weeks. The authors concluded that while the amount of weight regain varies depending on the specific drug, there is a broad trend in associated weight regain after the course of medication concluded. Well, Johnson & Johnson is using technology to help improve patient care. One of the innovations is the so-called robotic Monarch system that's helping improve lung cancer diagnosis. It's a robotically assisted bronchoscopy system. The procedure used to find the cause of a lung or airway problem. Now, lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer death for both men and women worldwide, often because it is diagnosed at advanced stages when treatment options are limited. With those sobering statistics in mind, the team at Johnson & Johnson MedTech got to work at their offices in Santa Clara, building this Monarch system to improve bronchoscopy. Pacheco as she lets her creative juices flow at the Sims Library. But first, Jen, a great day to stay inside a place like a library and enjoy that AC.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Ashlyn. It is going to continue to stay hot and toasty heading into the rest of today, especially anticipating some rain chances that are on the rise. Scattered thunderstorms as we progress further along into the rest of this afternoon and this evening. Drying out a little bit tonight, but still feeling muggy out there. I'll be breaking down all the forecast details that you need to know coming up when we come back.
The Sims Regional Library is more than just a place to check out books. It's a creative hub offering everything from guitar lessons, even craft classes. Vanessa is there right now and getting in on that fun.
Oh, it's a sticky situation here, but a fun one for sure. I'm joined by Callie Kelly. She is with the Sims Regional Library. We are here getting very creative. Now, what are we making today?
We're making stained glass bookmarks.
Okay, so we've already gotten things started, you guys, and of course, it's coming out really cute, actually. Yours is cute. I went with like a pink and purple, but walk me through the steps for anyone that's watching.
So basically, what you're gonna do is when you get all your supplies gathered together, and you're going to get your tissue paper, and you're gonna start dipping it in your little, what I call glue soup. And you're gonna just start with one piece at a time and start laying it down.
Love it. Now, this is one of many classes that you offer here. What other classes do you offer?
Oh, we have a wide variety of things. So we have our Good Listener Story Time here at Sims. We have our Lego Fun Tuesdays. We have Chess Club for Everyone. In August, we're going to be starting with our beginner guitar lessons for kids again, as well as a conversational Spanish class and Spark of Art classes.
You know, I feel like our photographer here is getting just how sticky this is becoming. That is so much fun. A little bit of everything that y'all offer here is not just books, classes, programs. Now, today, you also have a class today that's part of this crafty corner, right?
Yes, we are going to be doing tie-dye baby wipe art, which has 3 things: baby wipes, rubber bands, and washable markers.
Oh, that sounds like fun for sure. Now, for anyone that wants more information on the classes that you offer here and maybe learn more about Sims Regional Library, where can they go?
They have a couple different options. We can go to the mobilepubliclibrary.org website, which has our online calendar, as well as TV images displayed at the branches, and they can also reach out on Facebook and find various things there as well.
All right. Well, Callie, thank you so much. And of course, we're going to continue this, guys, because we still have to finish it, and it's going to look something like this, but mine has to dry off for sure. Yours is coming out so cute. Okay, I got some work to do. We're going to toss it back to the studio. Thank you, Callie.
Thank you.
Having so much fun, and what a great option for being indoors too. You get to beat the heat that we're dealing with out there for today. But a live view outside down in Fairhope. Less and less folks getting out there and enjoying it. As we continue to see these temperatures ticking up, I see less vehicles out there. Still a few, though, getting out and enjoying it. Maybe having a nice bite to eat there out on the pier. A nice breeze with some sunshine and some puffy cumulus clouds. But taking a look at conditions across the southeast, we do have some of those rain showers, those thunderstorms that are taking place just offshore. A little bit more of that cloud cover that's beginning to move in. Our winds, they're out of the north right now, so they're trying to knock down some of that humidity. However, not being too successful at this time. As we look in just a little bit closer, it's calm and quiet to begin so far forward this morning, but only anticipating more of that rain coverage to ramp up as we get further along into the rest of today. So we start off for this morning. There's that cloud cover out there. There's those peaks of sunshine, and then rain coverage will start to ramp up once we get closer towards 2, 3 o'clock. And really starting to see some of that closer towards 4 or 5 p.m. So sports practices, games that you might have, those camps, or even any dinner plans, you might potentially see some of those showers and storms. I will say Futurecast models, they have been in disagreement for the scenario that's going to be playing out for today. So do just be flexible with any of those plans. They are pretty consistent, though, on keeping the majority of that coverage right along or on the south side of I-10. So central to southern Mobile, Baldwin counties, along with the Florida Panhandle. Will turn much more isolated once we get further along into the rest of tonight, and we start to see some of that rain coverage turning a bit more isolated out there. So our inland spots, you have much lower chances of seeing some of that rain coverage for today. Instead, what you're going to be dealing with is the heat, which you're already seeing out there. Here's the current feels like temperatures. I will say, I do think that Atmore sensor, exaggerating just a bit. It's still hot out there. I wouldn't quite place it closer towards 119, likely getting closer towards that 108 that we're seeing closer towards Molino, but it's hot. It is toasty out there. Take breaks, stay hydrated, find that AC, get creative on those ways to cool down. We'll continue to see that heat advisory in effect for the remainder of today, just saying, hey, it's going to be even hotter out there than we've seen so far for the summertime months, with those heat index values getting closer towards 108 degrees. Later on this afternoon, those temperatures continuing to tick up. Not totally out of the question that we'll start to see more of those feels like temperatures closer towards the 110s, 110 to 115. That will be possible at some points. Again, it's going to be hot. It's almost hard to place the differences, though. Once you do get closer towards that category, you just know that it's hot and steamy out there. Those heat indices will take a little bit of a dip heading into tomorrow and Friday once we start to increase the rain coverage out there. That little tropical disturbance that we're tracking off the coast of Georgia, that'll move in, increase our rain chances, and increase the surf out there. But we quickly rebound back to our summertime pattern by the second half of the weekend. But for right now, it is stunning down at our local beaches. It is beautiful out there. Look at how calm, quiet that water is. A lot of folks getting out there and enjoying it. It is stunning to begin for today. It's hot and toasty, but the rip current risk low today, moderate heading into tomorrow, high once we get closer towards Friday and we introduce that tropical disturbance. It'll track across the Gulf waters, but once it moves back further inland, that's when we start to see some of those improvements back down to low once we get closer towards Sunday. Over the next 7 days, we do have a 50% chance of showers and storms for today, ramping up tomorrow and Friday. We resume our regular summertime pattern once we get towards Sunday. I'll have more details on your forecast coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
All right, Jen, thank you for that update there. Well, listen to this. One of the largest growing genres of entertainment is true crime. Whether it's the Murdaugh murders or the Manson family murders, there's no shortage of true crime content to consume. The genre is wildly popular all across social media platforms, including documentaries and podcasts. Although there is no definitive answer as to why true crime is so popular, one expert says there are several factors driving its popularity.
We have this curiosity as humans, and so we are interested in things that don't necessarily make sense to us. The other part of it is that we like to see justice being served when people are harmed or killed.
A large percentage of people who consume true crime are women. Now, the thought is that women watch in the hopes they can protect themselves from becoming victims in the future. Despite the tidal wave of books, documentaries, and podcasts, experts say the interest in true crime is not a modern fascination. They say cases like Jack the Ripper and the Lizzie Borden trial have long drawn interest from the public. Well, right now across the world, fans continue to mourn the loss of a rock legend. Tributes are pouring in for Ozzy Osbourne in his hometown of Birmingham, England. The heavy metal rocker died yesterday at the age of 76.
In Ozzy Osbourne's hometown of Birmingham, England, it is difficult not to feel his impact and his presence everywhere. I'm standing in front of a memorial bench that was built for Black Sabbath right in the middle of Birmingham city center. This was, of course, set up way before his passing, and fans have been gathering here all day, coming to lay down flowers. It's been really extraordinary to watch these heavy metal fans with piercings and tattoos and leather jackets coming to lay down these beautiful, colorful flowers and light these candles. And just take a look at some of the messages that have been left behind. You made Birmingham the rock and roll capital of the world. And you hear that from so many fans, that this is a band that opened a new genre that inspired generations of musicians. Come follow me and take a closer look at some of these things here as well. The Aston Villa shirt. Again, that is his local football team. It is here in Birmingham that Ozzy Osbourne played his first gig and played his last gig just a few weeks ago at Villa Park Stadium. And just take a look at all the people that have started to gather here again to say their goodbyes, to memorialize this band, to meet with members of this community. And some of those fans that I want to introduce you to here are Andy and his daughter Bonnie. You guys are wearing the t-shirts from the final concert. And Bonnie, if I could start with you, because you were so emotional, you were in tears when I walked up to you. What made you so sad to hear of his passing?
I wanted to be here to say thank you to Ozzy, because that day was the best day of my life. I got to experience something that was life-changing, and I'll never forget it.
And Andy, I was just shocked at how young Bonnie is. You're only 14 years old, but Dad has passed on the tradition. Why?
It's heavy metal music. It doesn't really matter what age you are. Once the music gets inside your blood, it's in you forever. And I was privileged enough to spend that time at the Villa Park, go back to the beginning concert with my daughter. My eldest daughter and partner, the tickets was a surprise birthday present for my birthday, and I couldn't believe that we'd actually got tickets to go. And to spend it with my youngest daughter and to see the icons that I grew up adoring and still do meant so much to me.
And Bonnie, what's the final thing that you want people to remember about Ozzy Osbourne?
Never forget his music, because he gave it to us for a reason. We get a feeling that is unexplainable from the soundtracks, and it gave Birmingham a meaning.
Thank you both so much. Thank you for your time. You really get a sense of just the impact of Ozzy Osbourne here, and just you can see that fandom across generations. Ozzy Osbourne had said time and time again he just wanted to perform one last time, and that's what he did in Birmingham, and it's giving his fans here some sense of closure, some sense of farewell. Sam Abdulaziz, CNN, Birmingham.
Well, right now on the Fox 10 Gulf Stream, Good Day Gulf Coast anchor Sarah Wall is looking at password safety. Our passwords are the safeguards for our digital lives, and hackers are constantly working on new ways to get through. Sarah's Spotlight looks at what the latest hacks are, why it's so important to protect our personal information online, and how to create a strong password. You can watch it right now on the Fox 10 Gulf Stream anytime. And as always, Sarah's Spotlight is live weekdays starting at 9 a.m. Well, still ahead, you've heard the saying, here comes the bride. But for one couple, it was here comes the tide. How they didn't let the weather dampen their I-dos when we come back. All right, y'all, welcome back in. Japan is ramping up its bear safety efforts amid a sharp increase in sightings and attacks.
So the city of Akita alone, authorities have reported more than 650 bear sightings since the start of July, nearly 3 times the number from the same time last year.
So in response, police in northern Japan are teaming up with local hunters for special bear safety drills in mountainous areas. These unusual and creative exercises feature people dressed in bear costumes, as you see on your screen, staging mock attacks to train residents and responders on how to scare off wild bears.
They even had fake blood there, too. Wow, okay. So Japan is home to 2 main species of the bear, the brown and the black bear, both known to be highly aggressive and even potentially deadly. So there you go. That's how they're running through the drills.
Listen,
oh yeah, I can see on his stomach right there that he was attacked.
The bear attacks, very serious. The costumes, not.
Yeah.
I literally cannot. It's funny how they're running. I feel like I would be more scared of the bear costume than that.
Right. But hey, whatever works, works.
Interesting. All right. Well, for better or worse, a couple in the Philippines had no trouble making waves at their wedding ceremony.
That's because their church was literally flooded due to heavy rain on the day of their ceremony.
Now, the couple knew the risk of a flood, but went ahead with the ceremony anyway. And this comes after Typhoon Wipa made landfall in the Philippines, causing massive flooding around the country.
Wow, so 80,000 people are still in emergency shelters following floods, landslides and tidal surges caused by the typhoon. Wipa made landfall in Vietnam Tuesday, but was lowered to a tropical storm after that. Look at that. Still celebrating.
I love
amidst
how
all
much
of that.
joy you can see in that room there. You know what they say? Rain on your wedding day is good luck.
That happened to
They
you?
have a lot of good luck
They
for
do
their
have a lot
wedding
of good
day.
luck, but you
Enough
had
to
had
last.
rain.
I did. Not this much rain. It did monsoon on our wedding day in Wilmer, Alabama. We thought it was going to be a sprinkle. Poured rain. But, you know, memories. All the guests sat there and...
Yep. As I said, we had gloomy skies and very high humidity, but we made it through in April. Exactly. No rain. Thank goodness. But hey, at least I can celebrate, and congratulations to the newlyweds. Well, let's go ahead and take a live look at your forecast right now from our Navigator Credit Union camera at the Battleship. We do have some sunshine out there. We do have a little bit of that cloud cover, but it's really not helping us much when it comes to those temperatures out there. It's hot and toasty. So just a reminder, right now is a great time to go ahead, download the Fox 10 weather app. That way you're staying updated with the forecast. Especially, you can already start to see some of the highlighted orange right here. That's going to be those heat advisories in effect. That way you can track along with it. Also just starting to see some of those special marine warnings also offshore for some of those stronger storms that we're tracking in the Gulf waters. But taking our view now just a little bit further south, it looks nice out there at our local beaches. I mean, it's stunning. Barely any waves out there. Some nice vibrant water. A lot of folks getting out there and enjoying it for today. But it is feeling hot and it is feeling toasty. It's already feeling like 105 out there. Once we get further along into the rest of today, those forecasted heat indices easily in the triple digits. Stay hydrated, take breaks, find that AC. Make sure also you're helping out your AC unit. Close all the windows, close the blinds, close the curtains, turn off those lights inside. Maybe just sit under a fan. That way it's not working as hard, because it will be hard for it to keep up with some of that heat and that humidity out there. Timing things out in our futurecast, we are introducing more of those showers and storms heading into this afternoon and this evening. Isolated to begin for the early part of the day, closer towards the dinner time hour. Rain coverage beginning to ramp up for central and southern Mobile, Baldwin counties. We turn a bit more isolated overnight, but rain chances on the rise for tomorrow. I'll break down more of those details coming up in just a little bit. Also making our way into South Mobile County, a nice view down on Dauphin Island, some sunshine, a nice breeze. We'll be right back with 3 to know before you go and a final look at your forecast. We'll be back after this.
Welcome back in. A very destructive joyride that tore up the streets and parked cars of a Seattle area neighborhood left authorities, both police and fire, scratching their heads and searching for answers. Jeremy Roth has this story in today's Take a Look at This.
Like something out of the video game Grand Theft Auto, authorities in Everett, Washington say someone stole a fire engine and went on a lengthy fender bender. The truck was stolen from fire officials responding to a medical emergency and was taken on a destructive joyride through the Seattle suburbs' streets, damaging parked cars and residential landscaping. Locals who witnessed the ordeal were baffled.
Scraping, screeching, but loud but long. All the cars, they weren't just wrecked, they were demolished.
A total of 14 vehicles across multiple locations were heavily damaged, but thankfully no injuries were reported. The fire engine suffered significant damage and has been sidelined while police investigate the bizarre incident. Speaking of the police, this guy may look the part, but officials in Southern California say he was only pretending to be an officer. The Hemet Police Department says they arrested a man operating a motorcycle sporting emergency lights, all while wearing an official-looking uniform, duty belt, and firearm. Hemet PD says not only was the suspect not licensed to provide security services, he's a convicted felon and is prohibited from carrying a firearm or stun gun. Locals were stunned by the news.
He could have been robbing, he could have been pulling people over unlawfully. God only knows.
Finally, from a fake cop to a very real snake. That's what Chicago area authorities say got loose on a commuter train when it escaped from its owner. Officials responded and found the slithering stowaway coiled up inside a control panel. They then returned it to its owner, who was, check my notes here, yes, dressed like a pirate. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth with a capital R.
All right, well, 3 to know before you go today. Amazon plans to acquire a startup company known for wearable artificial intelligence. The e-commerce giant says it plans to purchase Bee, the company that makes a wristband capable of transcribing daily conversations with AI and small microphones. Amazon has not announced the terms of the deal or when it will be finalized. And then Chips Ahoy is entering the Upside Down. The cookie company is teaming up with Stranger Things for a limited edition treat. The cookies feature a new chocolatey base, fudge chips, and a red strawberry flavored filling. Sounds like all my favorite things there. And those new cookies will be available nationwide starting August 11th, ahead of the Stranger Things 5th and final season on Netflix. And then finally, it's going to be a little sweet and a little sour today, as it's National Lemon Day. Lemons have been around for centuries and are believed to have originated in South Asia. Today, the citrus is used in both foods and medicines and as a household cleaner, and of course to make a favorite summertime drink, lemonade. So we want to know, what are your favorite lemon recipes and cleaning hacks? You can share them on social media using the hashtag National Lemon Day. Jen, I'm a big lemon fan. My whole kitchen is actually lemon themed at home.
I did not know that.
Should have worn yellow today.
See, there you go. Should have celebrated, but you know what? You can do that at home. I am a citrus fan. Always try and have some in my fridge. Let's go ahead and take a final look at your forecast. So heading into the remainder of this afternoon, it's hot, it's toasty, it is humid. We're going to be maxing out really the mid-90s today, but feeling well into the triple digits. Stay hydrated, take breaks out there, find that AC. Make sure you try and give your AC a break too. Cool down your house, close all the windows, close the blinds, close the curtains. We will start to introduce some rain coverage heading into this afternoon and this evening. Higher chances closer towards I-10, right along and on the south side of it near the dinner time hour. But by tomorrow, the rain coverage really begins to ramp up. We'll turn a bit more soggy and stormy for your Thursday and your Friday, so just keep that rain gear handy. Those temperatures take a dip into the upper 80s. Still could feel like the lower or the upper 90s if you start to see more of that sunshine. And then the sunshine will continue to make a reappearance by Sunday, heading into the early part of next week when we get back into our summertime pattern with those temperatures in the mid-90s and pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the afternoons.
All right. Well, today would be a great day to enjoy a tall glass of lemonade for National Lemon Day. You know what they say, turn lemons into lemonade, right? Even on this hot day. All right. Thanks for watching Fox 10 Midday. Be sure to stick around for Fox 10 Live at 3 o'clock.